An 11-year-old Florida girl who fought back during an attempted kidnapping earlier this week said she smeared some blue slime she was playing with on the perp so that officers could find them easily. In an interview from earlier today, she told NBC that her quick thinking was inspired by watching Law and Order with her mom. Home surveillance footage shows the man trying to carry her to his car before running off without her. The footage, along with her own detective work, helped to lead to the suspect's arrest. What a genius. Natalie Holloway, Kaylee Anthony, and Elizabeth Smart. Their disappearances made national news and they became household names. Here's another name, Akia Eggleston. She was 23 when she vanished in Baltimore after withdrawing a few $100s from a bank. 8 months into a high-risk pregnancy with her second child, she was getting ready for a baby shower just 4 days away. Unfortunately, Akia's name and story are probably new to you, and many believe Akia and the thousands of missing black women and girls across the country would get the attention they deserve if there was a different element there, and that's the race. Tonight, we're talking with her stepfather and also with the co-founder of the organization Black and Missing. The family's hope and ours is that someone will have the courage to come forward and help solve this case. First, BNC's Laverne McGee tells us more about Akia.
You know, I always remember, as I look at the pictures of her now, when she was a little girl, I always remember her always singing and dancing.
Shawn Wilkinson lives with the burden of not knowing what happened to his oldest stepdaughter, Akia Eggleston, and the baby boy she was 8 months pregnant with when she went missing. The pain, even after more than 4 years, feels fresh.
I still get up in the evenings. I pray for her and ask God that, she will be well and that closure will come to this family.
Akia vanished in Baltimore May 3rd, 2017. This image from a bank surveillance camera is the last captured before she disappeared. Akia, 23, withdrew money to move into a new place with her child's father. A friend then dropped her off at her apartment. No one has seen or heard from her since.
It's just the not knowing that gets you every day. Yeah. The smallest tip could be the one that opens the door to finding out, what happened on May 3rd after she was dropped off at her home.
When you're black and missing, cases often don't get the attention they should. Wilkinson says police wasted precious time for a month.
She is just trying to get herself together, or even she doesn't want to be found. We've heard those type of scenarios out of, the mouths of police officers. And again, I think that this is an issue that not only spans Baltimore City police departments, but probably police departments all over when it comes to people of color.
Akia adored her 2.5-year-old daughter, Emery, was enduring a high-risk pregnancy and planning a baby shower just 4 days away.
We know as a family that she didn't walk away from her life. I mean, yes, it may have been hard as we have come to find out some things that were going on in her life, but we know that one thing that was constant was the love of her daughter. So when it comes to her walking away or just wanting to try to get herself together and leaving her daughter here, we just don't think that was the case.
Wilkinson says even after police determined Akia and her son are likely victims of foul play, he hasn't been able to bust through a wall of frustration with the ongoing investigation that doesn't appear to be going anywhere.
The mockery of it is that they say that their job is hard. As a parent, I could care less about how overworked you are or how understaffed you are. So when you hear those things, it's almost like, are you actually doing your job? And I'm not saying that you're not, but those are excuses. And excuses don't fly when your loved one is missing. We still to this day don't know if she had the baby or unfortunately the baby or herself are deceased. I mean, it's that type of knowledge that doesn't allow you to sleep well every night.
For Making the Case, I'm Laverne McGee.
We reached out to the Baltimore Police Department and the lead detective about this case and haven't heard back. Now I want to bring in Akia's dad, Shawn Wilkinson, and Natalie Wilson, co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation. Glad to have you both on tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Shawn, let me start with you. I can't imagine going through what you're living through and for 4 years now. When Akia went missing, What was law enforcement's reaction to her case?
Initially, her case, there was no reaction to do anything quickly. Again, being young and black, her case was not looked after very quickly. There was no rush to get anything done, and to this day, it still seems to be the same issue with no enthusiasm to solve her case.
Were they providing you any reason? Because essentially, you know, black women and children that go missing are usually stereotyped, right? They're profiled by police officers. Usually they come up with this conclusion that they disappeared willingly. So what was the response like from them? What did they say in order to justify their lack of enthusiasm?
So for the police department, again, they say they've interviewed over 100 people. We have not seen the evidence of that. They say that they followed every breadcrumb in her case. We have not seen the evidence of that. They won't speak to us on the phone. I call and they won't actually speak to us. They say they will only take messages via email. So it's hard to say actually what they are doing or how far they're into the case. But again, as I said before, the frustration is beyond me when I can't get a simple phone call back to say, hey, we're working on the case, in which they have in some instances. Yes, they have. But the level of communication is really not. And that frustration is what gets us the most.
Now, you're advocating for two people, your daughter and your unborn grandson. Now, this battle you've had with police, how and why do you think it's gotten to the point now where, as you've said, you can't even get them to answer your phone calls?
I think simply because they don't have any answers. And instead of them saying, we don't have any answers, they continue the charade that they're working on the case. The lead detective on the case, again, who won't accept my phone calls, he will only respond to me by email, which is very seldom not. You know, we've been through this song and dance many times before about Akia, and it just always seems to lead back to they don't want to jeopardize the information that they do have, or they just don't want to respond, in my opinion.
Natalie, let me get you in on this part of the conversation. How much does the relationship between black communities and police factor into why, when black women and girls go missing in America, they don't get the same level of attention by police or the media as white people?
Well, we know that there's a sense of distrust between the minority community and law enforcement. I mean, we live it, we see it every day. And oftentimes when our, young girls or boys are missing, they indicate that they've left voluntarily, like Shawn said. And as family members, you have to advocate for your missing loved one because you know their characteristics. You know if that's not something that they would do. And they often stereotype our missing as being involved with some type of criminal activity, or there's an element of poverty or addiction. And that is not necessarily the case. And we see this every day. We hear this from families. And that's why at the Black and Missing Foundation, we are advocates for these families who are desperately searching for their missing loved ones. And we're trying to bridge the gap because, as Shawn said, the unknown is so disheartening. And they need to know what happened to their missing loved ones. They need answers or closure.
Shawn, Akia's daughter, Emery, is about to turn 7. She was just 2.5 when her mother went missing. How have you tried to explain all of this to her?
Well, the best way we can explain it to her is that your mom is not here, and we're looking for her, and we're doing the best that we can to help find her. And we do our best to make sure that she knows who her mother is, her name, her full name, her first, middle, and last name. We do all of those things. We show her pictures. We tell her stories about her. and we do the best we can and spend time with her as much as we can. So beyond those things, there's nothing more that we can do for her. But for Akia, what we can continue to do is get her name out there in the social media element that you're
Yes.
presenting us here tonight. And what I would love to say is thank you again for continuously keeping her name in the atmosphere so that more people can know about her story.
No, I'm so glad that you came on to share. That's something we want to dedicate ourselves to on a weekly basis, to highlight these cases that go ignored. Natalie, he mentioned, of course, what we can do to help find Akia or find answers about what has happened to her. What do you want our viewers to know in terms of what they can do also? Because I know your organization is fighting alongside Shawn to get some answers.
Right. So anyone that has information about Akia's disappearance, you can reach out to the Black and Missing Foundation anonymously and provide us with a tip at bamfi.org. You know, it takes all of us, law enforcement, the media, and our community to come together to find our missing. Think about it. Akia could be your daughter, or it could be your mother, your child, your neighbor that's missing, and you would want someone to come forward with information to help reunite you, or again, have the answers or the closure that they deserve.
Absolutely. It's a community effort for sure. We're definitely going to have that information posted later in the show as well, and viewers can see that on the screen right now. Shawn Wilkinson and Natalie Wilson, thank you so very much for sharing Akia's story.
Thank you for having us.